To Speedweek, I'm Bob Jenkins. A tragic sprint car crash last week has left five-time Knoxville champion Doug Wolfgang hospitalized in serious condition. Now, he is improved from a week ago, but still faces a long recuperation from burns over 30% of his body, a broken vertebrae, and a concussion. It occurred during a practice session for a World of Outlaws race at Lakeside Speedway in Kansas City. Now, this is not the crash, but a similar one that Mark KINSER had in the same turn last fall. His car slid into the infield, eventually coming to rest after hitting tires protecting a light pole. In Wolfgang's case, his car slid to the outside turn 4 wall, hit it nearly head-on, and then burst into flames. Trapped for several minutes, Wolfgang was finally pulled from the racer and airlifted to Kansas University Medical Center. Steve KINSER has been one of the few people to visit Wolfgang in the hospital.
He definitely got burned up from the waist down, severely bad. It's it's going to take a lot of time for the burns to heal, and got his hands burnt quite bad also. I seen Doug myself. His face was burned, his nose, nothing on his face that won't heal with a little bit of time. I think right now the big thing everybody's concerned about is how long he was in it and how much he's got in his lungs.
Several people, including drivers Steve Beitler and Mark KINSER, are the real heroes of this story. With helmets and fireproof clothing on, they rescued the unconscious Wolfgang.
I kind of walked around to the other side of the car. It seemed like I stood there in awe of the situation for eternity. I just couldn't believe that there was a man in this situation. That everybody seemed so hopeless, and it was a really tough situation to take, and I didn't really know what to do. As I was going down there, my dad had hollered at me, and he said, well, have him drag the car out of the fuel because it's in this big lake of fuel, and it was total chaos, and it was hard to get anybody to help do anything, so I figured I'd better just go in there and help him out of the car.
A couple of things made rescue difficult: a jammed quick-release steering wheel and a wraparound seat which holds drivers in place in a flip but was detrimental in this case. And there have also been questions raised about the lack of firefighting equipment.
With the outlaw organization and sprint cars we run, there's hardly ever an actual fire truck there. I don't know, maybe they're going to use the water truck that's there. Just very few times do I ever remember an actual fire department at the track.
I spoke with World of Outlaws President Ted Johnson, who told me that although fire trucks aren't necessarily required, there was adequate firefighting equipment on the scene. But all of this has drivers thinking about how to prevent a reoccurrence.
We need to get together with all the drivers in the World Outlaws and make this thing just a little bit safer on a fire hazard.
Doug Wolfgang was always among the first to volunteer to walk through the crowd, passing the helmet for drivers in need. Now, his fellow competitors are doing the same thing, collecting money to help defray medical costs. Another irony of this story, Doug's wife, Jerry, is 8 months pregnant with their 4th child. She'll stay with her husband and have the baby at Kansas University Medical Center. There were no other serious incidents during the weekend at Lakeside. Sammy SWINDELL won both Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Now, the Outlaws are at Eldora Speedway in Ohio tonight and tomorrow.